Hi, my name's Zach.
And I'm Jen.
So after we dated for a little while, we found out we were having a baby.
3 years later, we had another baby in the beginning of 2014. And then we decided to get married at the end of 2014 in October. We were on the highest of highs. We were so in love, but even though we were so young, we still loved each other. And that highest of highs went from being together for 6 years to being like so strained from each other. Like we became complete strangers at that point.
I worked too much. I was never home. That didn't help.
And we didn't really know how to talk about it. We were working completely different schedules. And at that age, when you're still working on your marriage and you're still working on your life and you're still getting to know each other and you're in that fun stage, you don't know how to deal with it. And if you don't know how to cope with it the right way or know who to turn to or to talk to, it just kind of all just falls apart.
So we ended up going our own ways at that point.
We split in January of 2016 and our divorce was final by May.
Definitely a rock bottom there. You know, that's all I'd known was from going to school, and then we had kids and just had a family, and that was what I had known since high school.
I hit the lowest of the lowest when it came to my depression and my anxiety, and I always faced that growing up. I scared people in my family at that point. I wasn't sure what to do or where to turn to. One day I woke up and I was like, I just want to do an Easter egg hunt with the boys. And I said, do you mind if I bring the boys, if I come over and I'll bring eggs and we'll do an egg hunt this morning with the boys in the backyard? And we talked for hours, and what seemed like I didn't have my best friend anymore, like my best friend was sitting right in front of me again. And we both just looked at each other and we're like, if we're gonna do this, we have to do it. It wasn't until we got back together that I looked at him and I was like, we have to go to church.
And that's it. Let's go. And we went Mother's Day weekend. That was the first time we had been to Lifehouse.
And that's when we asked about counseling through the church, and they brought up Marriage Alive. And that changed our lives tremendously. Like, it taught us how to love, it taught us how to honor each other and respect each other. And it honestly, like I tell people, like it taught us how to fight the right way. And the most important thing was it put God in the center of our relationship at that point.
After the counseling, it felt like all more so real.
I just looked at everything God had did for me in just a year. Like, he changed my entire life. And I was like, it's time for me to show the world that I choose God. I just wanted to share my testimony because I think that it was something that everybody needed to hear, to know that it's okay.
And I was in the front row with the kids. Our family was all there. It was just great because, you know, I knew what we had overcome and what she was overcoming.
And I looked back because I wanted to see his reaction. He is bawling and I lost it. The baptism happened and then the marriage happened, and he looked at me and he was like, we're ready. A month and a half later, we were pregnant with our third baby. God made us grow up with the first one. God brought us together with the second one. And now God completely healed us as people and in our marriage. From the depression and anxiety, I haven't been on medicine in over a year now. And without God, it wouldn't be possible.
We find something new to keep our relationship focused on God. We can use something and relate to us every week.
And I cannot stress enough how important it is to keep God in the center of your marriage. He has built us into this strong, loving couple that we never were before. I tell everybody that. I'm like, if you don't have God, it's not going to work. There's no way it's going to work because he's ready and he wants to be there. We as people just have to make sure we let him in.